Hi friends! So if you've been following along this week, we have officially made it through 7 days of creating a new sourdough starter. So the Monster 2.0 is back. That little jar of flour and water looked pretty questionable in the beginning, and now it's alive and bubbling and ready to bake with. But now comes the question I ask all the time. Okay, now what do we do next? Today, I'm going to start showing you exactly how to care for your starter moving forward and how to keep it healthy and strong. And we've had a very special request in this house for what to do next. My son Marky has been waiting patiently all week for sourdough discard Mickey waffles. Every day he asks me, is it ready yet? And I say no. So this weekend we will definitely be making sourdough discard Mickey waffles. Apparently, when you're 5, waiting 7 days is basically a lifetime. So today we're going to take care of our starter and in the future make Marky's long-awaited Mickey waffles. So your starter is alive. If your starter looks bubbly, smells slightly tangy, and doubles in size after feeding, then congratulations. You officially have a living sourdough starter. And the amazing thing about starters is that some people keep them alive for years, even decades. Mine lasted a few years before we lost power, and it perished in the storm with all the other stuff in the refrigerator. From this point forward, your job is really simple. You just need to feed it and store it properly. Think of it like a tiny kitchen pet that eats flour. So there's 2 main ways to store your sourdough starter, and it often depends on how often you bake that you're going to pick your way of storing it. Option 1 is you could store it on the countertop if you bake several times a week, and that keeps you feed it every 24 hours, and that keeps it active and ready to bake with. But if you're like me, and most families, you only bake on occasion. So the best way for me to store it is in the refrigerator. So once your sourdough is established, you can store it in the refrigerator, feed it once a week, once every 2 weeks. I think I've gone up 2 months in there before I pulled it out and fed it and used it. This slows everything down and makes the starter much easier to manage. And this is the method that most people use. So the question is, how do you feed your starter? And feeding your starter is really simple. You're going to discard half like we've done the last 7 days. You're going to give it equal parts flour, equal parts water, and stir it until smooth. And you always want that thick pancake batter consistency. Some people use different feeding ratios, like 5-to-1, 5 of flour and water, and 1 of starter, or 2-to-1. But in the end, you want to keep that thick pancake batter consistency when you feed it. And you're going to cover it and then let it rise, and then it'll be active for you to use. Within a few hours, you'll see it bubbling and again, and it'll be happy. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. And then when you're done baking with it, you're going to feed it again and then put it in the refrigerator, and that slows everything down so it doesn't require as much feeding. So now let's talk about something really important, like the magic of sourdough discard. Every time you feed your starter, you're going to have discard, but don't always throw it away. Sourdough discard is amazing in things like pancakes and crackers and muffins and pizza dough, and in our house, Mickey waffles. There's a few things that I do want to try. I saw somebody make sourdough discard tortillas because we have tacos in our house quite a bit, so I feel like that would be helpful. And I want to try English muffins because I really enjoy English muffins. Another thing that we make a lot in our house, they're not necessarily discard. I have seen some recipes with discard, but they're an active starter, is bagels. Marky and Mark love the bagels. So that might be something that I bake this weekend and stock up my freezer again since it's empty. So if you made sourdough starter along with me this week, congratulations. You officially have a living starter ready to bake with. Just remember, feed it, take care of it, don't waste that discard. There are so many delicious things you can make with it. And if you need somewhere to start, apparently Mickey Waffles are a popular choice. I did have a video on our channel of me and Marky making Mickey Waffles, and it is pretty funny of him. He's very animated in the video, so it's entertaining. And I believe in that caption I did put the recipe. So if it's not there when I go look, I'll put it in the description for this video so that you have Marky's favorite Mickey waffle recipe. So thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you in our next video. I hope this helped.